Hi, Miss Kay here. I'm going to talk to you today about the assignment, the Edgar Allan Poe essay that you've been assigned. If you come to your American Writers Shared Drive, you will find a copy of the assignment there. You will also find a copy of the graphic novel. We're going to actually talk about the assignment itself. I've given you a thesis statement, and basically what I want for you to do is I want for you to either attack the movie, the 1961 Roger Corman version, or I want you to defend the movie as being artistically valid or not. Now, on the assignment itself, I do some explanation as to what artistically valid actually means. And I also give you two thesis statements. They are identical, except for the one has is artistically valid and the other is not artistically valid. Now, we're going to talk about artistically valid. What is Poe famous for? What kinds of things would Poe include in his work? What kinds of themes? What kinds of settings? What kinds of storylines? What kinds of characters? You have to look at what you know about Edgar Allan Poe, and then you're going to go and watch the movie. Now, the story, The Pit and the Pendulum itself, was a story about a man who was being held as a prisoner in a dungeon for some crime against the church that we don't know exactly what it was. Now, as you can see from the graphic novel here, we've got a guy laying under a blade here. He's completely wrapped up by one long bandage. And he sees that there's a bunch of rats around him, and he gets this idea to rub the contents of this dish of food beside him on his bandage, and the rats come up and chew it. Now, in the film that we watched in class, you've got this guy, Francis Bonnard. He's laying on this table, and this pendulum is coming down, and he kind of starts to black out a little bit here in just a second. But, there's no rats. There's no binding that goes around his entire body. There's all kinds of extra characters that there aren't in The Pit and Pendulum that by Edgar Allan Poe. Now, the point is, I want you to decide and then defend your decision whether or not this movie has any business calling itself the work of Edgar Allan Poe. Now, as you can see by the lightning and the thunder, and then there's this scene where you can kind of see right there. This is the setting. Does that look like something that Edgar Allan Poe would like? That's for you to decide. Now, if you come back to the assignment, you'll see that there's a second page on which I talk about the requirements, 5-paragraph essay, what should be in each. And I just wanted to show you one additional thing. I made this graphic organizer to help to describe what should be in your introduction, about how you should have a hook and how your information about the essay should carry your reader from the attention grabber down to the thesis statement. If the thumb is the attention grabber and the pinky is your thesis statement, you're moving your reader with information about the essay from the beginning to the end of that paragraph in a nice, even flow. Okay? You have to tell your reader who's the author. You have to tell your reader who's the producer. What are you comparing? How are you comparing it? Okay? This is not an essay about the fact that, it's not a comparison contrast essay. Okay? You're defending or attacking the movie. All right. If you have any further questions, don't be afraid to ask.